I'm going to read the chairman's script now. You're supposed to record this or, oh, you are recording. It says right there. All right. As chair of the House Resources, Recreation and Development Committee, I find that due to the state of emergency declared by the governor as a result of COVID-19 pandemic, and in accordance with House Rule 67, the governor's emergency order number 12 pursuant to Executive Order 2020-04, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. This is a committee orientation meeting. Please note that there is no physical location for members of the public to observe and listen contemporaneously to this meeting. However, in accordance with the emergency order, I am confirming that, one, all members of the committee and select legislative staff have the ability to communicate contemporaneously during this meeting through the Zoom electronic meeting platform, and the public has access to contemporaneously listen and, if necessary, participate in this meeting by the Zoom platform or by telephone. All necessary access information has been made available to the House in the House calendar and through the electronic calendar on the General Court website. The notice of this meeting, for this meeting notice, complies with House rules and RSA 91. Anyone who has a problem accessing the meeting should call 271-3600 or email hcs@leg.state.nh.us. In the event the public is unable to access the meeting will be adjourned and rescheduled. I want to introduce the staff that are on the meeting assisting us. Brad Greenland, committee researcher. Brad, introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brad Greenland. I'm from House Community Services. I'm temporarily the researcher for this committee. As returning members will probably know, Joel Anderson was the previous researcher for this committee. He has since retired, and I am temporarily covering this committee until we find his replacement.
Okay, Brad, let me finish this then. Let me finish the chairman's script. Please note that all votes are taken during the meeting shall be done by roll call vote. Let's start the meeting by taking a roll call attendance. When each member states their presence, please also state whether there is anyone in the room with you during this meeting, which is required under right to know law. Thank you. I apologize, Brad. I just wanted you to wave to the folks, or just to let them know, anyone out there, who you are. But you'll hear more from Brad later on in the program when we talk about what the committee researcher does. And I apologize, Brad. This is my first time. Be gentle.
Not a problem.
Okay. Let's see. Now I'm going to call. I for the first and last time, I'm going to call the roll. The chair. The call. I'm going to go down. Will be the chairman, vice chairman, clerk, then the majority and the minority members. That is the way they are listed in the House, the General Court website. First off, myself, I'm Andy Renzullo. He is here. I am here, and there is no one in the area with me. I have Michael Gunsky. He is not here. He is attending another meeting, and will be checking in later. The clerk is Juliet Harvey Bolia. Is she here? Apparently not. I haven't. Linda Gould.
Linda Gould is here. I'm
and there's-
alone. I'm alone.
Thank you. James Horgan,
I am here and alone.
Robert Harb,
I'm here in my office alone, but my secretary is in another room.
okay, thank you. Jim Creighton,
I am here and alone.
Dustin Dodge, he's not here. He said he had a work conflict. Robert Healy,
I'm here in my office and I'm alone.
Mary Mayville,
I am here and alone.
Lisa Post,
I am here and alone.
thank you. Now, Suzanne Smith,
Suzanne Smith, I am in my home office and I am alone.
Judith Spang,
I'm here and I'm alone.
Chuck Grassy,
I'm at home and I'm alone.
Suzanne Gottling,
Here alone.
Bruce Cohen,
I am here and I'm alone.
Rosemary Rung,
I'm here and alone.
Erica Connors,
I'm in my home office and I have one child in here with me right now.
okay. Suzanne Vale. Thought I saw Suzanne.
She was here.
She needs to unmute.
Suzanne?
She's muted.
Oh, you're muted. Suzanne, you're still muted. Is that?
She's not showing as being muted, so I don't know
Yeah.
what the problem is. She must be having a mic problem.
Brad, are you unmuted? I mean, Brad, can you?
He may
unmute?
need to just log out of the meeting and log back in. Sometimes that
There
happens.
we go.
There she is.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
My favorite words. Sorry about that. I tried, I know you can hit Alt A, or you can toggle, but anyway, I'm here and I'm alone in my office.
Okay, thank you.
You just hold your space bar too, and that'll unmute your mic.
Yeah. Normally that works, but today.
Eamon Kell. Okay,
I'm gonna leave. and come back.
okay, I'm gonna continue. Eamon Kelly.
I am here and alone in great pronunciation.
Is it?
Yeah, no, you did it right. Thank you.
All right. Don't worry, I'll screw it up eventually.
It's okay.
With a name like Rinzulo, I'm sorry. It just, it happens. You should hear what people kill my name. Melbourne Moran.
I am here. I'm alone in my office, but my wife and child are in the office next to me.
Okay. And that and of course there's Brad. But he's not, I don't believe he's part of, well, I know he's not part, he is staff, but he's not part of the roll. He's not a voting member, roll call. All right.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
I can't see Brad's face.
Brad, did you kill your face?
I can turn my camera on one moment.
Yeah.
Great, thank you, Brad.
No problem.
All right. Okay, now I'll start with the part of out of the committee handbook, or the chairman's, the House Chairman's handbook. They have a thing called the Committee Organization Day. So this is probably all old hat for those of us who've been here at least one term. But so most of what we're going to be doing is to bring try to get the new folks up to speed. But one of the first thing we're going to do is we're going to introduce ourselves. And I'm going to go by the list and who we are, what we do, where do we, how long we've served, what towns we represent. Also, anything you want to share with the others. This is a lot easier done. Believe me, it's much easier done when we're in live session. We're just a group chatting. This is kind of stilted way of doing it, but the only way we have right now. My name is Andy Renzullo. It's Renzullo. I'm the chair. I've been doing this State House business for this is my 8th term. I've chaired this committee before 10 years ago. I'm represent the town of Hudson and the town of Pelham. We have a large district. It has 11 members in it, largest one in the state. It's two mediums, one medium sized and one large sized town. How it got that way that's another story. I've lived in New Hampshire now. It'd be 40 something years. It's that's just about it. What do I like to do? Well, you see behind me, I have a lot of glassware and stuff. I like old things because I'm old. So that's my house is like a museum. So, but anyway, that's what I do now, and that's who I am, and I'll pass it on to the next person. Can't be Vice Chairman Gunsky. He's not here at the moment. I don't know, did Juliet Harvey Bolia sign in? I guess she hasn't. So she's not here also. Linda, here's Linda Gould, Representative Gould. Could you tell the committee more about yourself?
Sure. I'm Representative Linda Gould. I'm from Bedford, New Hampshire, which is near Manchester, New Hampshire. And I'm a New Hampshire native. And I enjoy bicycling and outdoor activities. And that's one thing that attracted me to this particular committee. I'm in my 4th term. I have 5 children that are grown up. And I don't know. Anything else? Oh, I do want to say something, Andy. Tilt the screen a little bit because the upper part of your face we can't see.
The what?
The upper part of your face we can't see. That's better.
No, should it better go the other way then?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I don't know that because I can't see myself. Thank you for telling me that. James Horgan.
Hi, I'm Jim Horgan, not to be confused with Representative Horrigan, which is a common occurrence. I'm one of 2 representatives that cover Farmington, just above Rochester, below Middleton, if you're familiar with the area. I've been in Farmington since '91, retired from the Navy, and been assisting the community since '93. This is my 3rd term as a state rep. And nothing exciting to tell you about. That's it.
All right. Robert Harb. Bob?
Yes, thank you. Good morning. My name's Bob Harb. I represent Plastow and Atkinson, New Hampshire, way down in the south, near the Mass border. I live in Plastow. I'm the Plastow Town Moderator. I'm the Timberlane School District Moderator. I'm an attorney in focusing on real estate and estate planning by profession. My hobbies and other things I do, which drew me to this committee, was I'm an equestrian. So the recreation brought me in. And I am also a professional karate instructor. And that's enough, I think. Thank you.
Jim Creighton.
I'm Jim Creighton. I'm from District 38 in Hillsborough. Cover 10 different towns, all the way from Greenville in the south up to Windsor in the north. retired Army colonel. I got 2 kids, and I run 2 businesses, an outdoor wilderness guide company and a leadership and security consultancy. Glad to be here on my first term and looking forward to working with y'all. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Dustin Dodge is not here. Robert Healy, can you tell us about
Hi.
yourself?
Hi, Andy. Thanks.
Hi.
I'm Bob Healy from Merrimack with 2 other Merrimack people on this committee. I've come to Merrimack. I came to Merrimack from 2008 after being born in France and moving through Massachusetts and then through Connecticut. It's my first term, and the only other thing is, the things I like doing outside is playing golf.
Thank you, Bob.
Yep.
Mary Mayville.
Wow, I already have so many things in common with a lot of you. So I represent Merrimack with Rosemarie and Bob Keeley. I too am retired from the military, Air Force Lieutenant Colonel. I have a doctorate in nursing practice, and I am actively teaching at Northeastern University down in Boston. And like Bob, I'm an equestrian as well. So that's what drew me to this committee, as well as being outside and really protecting our natural resources. So I appreciate meeting everyone, and this is my first term.
Okay, thank you. Lisa Post.
I'm Lisa Post. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear
Okay,
you.
good. I have the ears on, and so I can't hear myself. I am from Lineborough. I cover Hillsborough District 4, which is Wilton and Lineborough, Greenville, and Francistown. And I also ran with Jim Creighton, as he is part of our 4 towns. And I look forward to working with everyone here. My husband and I moved here as empty nesters in 2014. But we now have my son and his wife living with us, so that's quite exciting for us. We're all outdoor people. We love to hike, kayak, boat, just discover all the wonderful things about New Hampshire. And I'm super excited to be on this committee. One of the things I did run on was, protecting our parks and our waters and our resources. So I look forward to working with everyone. I do have 3 grown sons, and now luckily have 3 daughters along with that. So I'm very excited to have some girls and shop with them and hike and ski with them. I look forward to working with everyone, and being a newbie, I hope to get all your advice and suggestions from everyone that's been on here before. I look forward to working with everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Next is the ranking Democrat member, Suzanne Smith. Just so folks know, the new folks know that she was chair and I was the ranking Republican, and now we've changed places. And I guess payback is going to be
Payback for what?
Oh, I don't know. I never did anything wrong. So I said, I meant that payback to me, not for me, not to you. Anyway.
Okay.
All right. It came out wrong. Sorry. So that's the problem with doing this with Zoom. You don't see personalities. There's no banter. And under normal circumstances, this who I am and this talking would be a kind of a little bit of a back and forth a bit, just to get, break the ice. You can't break the ice on a wire. So anyway.
Just watch us. You want banter?
Oh no! Wait a
You
minute.
want banter? We'll give you banter.
Hey, it's my turn.
Suzanne, you're up.
Okay, I'm Suzanne Smith. I represent the towns of Plymouth, Hebron, and Holderness in the middle of the state. It covers Squam Lake and Newfound Lake, so I'm a fitting addition to this committee, which this will be my 5th term on resources, and this will be my 7th term in the New Hampshire House. I'm also co-chair of the Hebron Conservation Commission, and I was interested to hear Lisa saying she's a birder, because I'm a birder also. I also like to kayak, hike, and I'm in a wildlife tracking group, and this has been a good year for that. And I really look forward to working with everyone. We've got some interesting bills coming up, some old favorites and some new ones. So it should be fun this year. So look forward to working with all of you.
Thank you. I think we can thank Chuck Grassi for the old favorites. He's bringing one back. Next is Judith Spang.
How about Chuck? He's our next in line in the Democratic line.
I'm just going by, I think this is done by, I think they do
Never
this by
mind.
seniority.
How long you been in the House?
Yeah.
Awesome.
As you can probably tell, I'm a past chair also. And I think Andy was the ranking Republican when I was chair. I've been in for 22 years, all but 2 of them were on this committee. I've worked on river issues at the local, state, and even federal level, taking bills to Congress. I live in Durham, and there's very few outdoor activities that I haven't done, which is why I'm going through my second year with a broken leg. First it's skiing and now it's boating. I'm primarily interested in water issues, but maybe surface water issues, not necessarily the PFAS and all of those. But I'm interested in other things relating to the health of our rivers and lakes, and also living in Durham, I'm probably the most interested in coastal issues of anybody on the committee. I'm also have been very involved with land conservation, and I'm concerned about our lack of stewardship of our habitats and our land. Chuck and I have put in a bill to protect our wetlands 9 times. I'm going to give it a rest this time and let Chuck take over with the prime wetlands. So those are my interests, and I'm happy to work with anybody who shares any of those interests in land use, land conservation, and land and water protection.
Thank you, Judith. And it's Chuck Grassi.
Hey, I'm Chuck Grassi from Rochester. This will be my 8th term. I served 5 terms way back. My first term actually was back in 1975, where I served 5 terms and then took a long break, which my wife was here for 10 years, serving on Children and Family Law. But back in the 70s, I was a member of the Science and Technology Committee. This will be my 3rd term on this committee. And I've been I was a town planner and in the planning field for about 20 years, serving in the towns of Alton, Raymond, and Stratham. I was involved with the shoreline protection ordinances and regulations for the state, and have been involved in wetlands and geospatial mapping for most of my time as a town planner. So I bring that experience of working with towns. I was also on the city council here for almost 30 years.
I think that'd be fun.
And Suzanne, you're taking a phone call and your mic is on. There, thank you. And served on the planning board here in Rochester for a number of years as well. So I have a lot of knowledge and experience in the planning field and environmental services.
Okay. And the next is, guess who? Suzanne. Suzanne Gottlieb, you're up. Suzanne
You're
Gottlieb.
muted, Sue.
Okay. Unmute yourself. Can't hear you. Suzanne.
Sorry, Andy. My phone just rang, so I was made sure I was muted. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. I'm Sue Gottling. I live in Sunapee. I represent Sullivan County District 2, which is Sunapee and Croydon. I'm serving in my 6th term. I've always been on Resources Committee, and one session I did double duty on Ways and Means, which was an interesting trek from the 2nd to the 3rd floor. I also am in my 4th term as a member of the Sunapee Select Board. I've lived in New Hampshire 25 years, and I live on Lake Avenue, so I have quite an interest in the health of our lakes. I serve on the Lake Sunapee Protective Association Watershed Committee, and at the base of our lake, of course, we have the Mount Sunapee ski area, which in the past has been a frequent source of discussion, shall we say. So hi, everybody, and it'd be nice to get to know the new folks, although there are a lot there that I already know.
Okay, thank you, Sue. Thank you, Sue. Bruce Cohen.
Representative Bruce Cohen, hello. I represent Nashua's Ward 1. This is my 2nd term on this committee. I'm very happy. Last year, I was very proud of the bipartisan work we did to address issues around PFAS and arsenic in water. I consider myself an environmentalist. I'm very sensitive to issues around that. I'm looking forward to whatever comes our way this year. I also want to take this time to thank the chairperson for agreeing to allow those of us with health concerns to participate fully via Zoom in our committee meeting. So thank you for that. I do appreciate that. And I'm looking forward to working with all of you the next 2 years.
Okay. Anything else? Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Bruce. The next is Rosemary Rung. Rosemary
Hi, everybody.
Rung.
Thank you, Andy, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
I'm Rosemary Rung. I live in Merrimack along with Bob and Mary Mayville. I've actually lived in New Hampshire since 1973. Graduated from Nashua High, UNH. My first career was as a research analytical chemist, and then I moved into public affairs for the Dow Chemical Company, and I retired from there in 2009. I have 3 grown children, 2 grandsons, which is a lot of fun. In my 2nd term, my first term, I was on resources. I served as clerk, and I joined because of the PFAS issues facing Merrimack. I serve as chair of the PFAS Commission, which was a result of HB 737 a couple years ago. And I know Bob is on that commission as well.
Can you hold up for a second? I'm hearing, I'm getting some feedback or somebody's got something going.
I don't think I do.
No, I know. I just want to.
Oh, okay.
Sounds like a television set in the background.
Yeah, who has a TV going?
Nothing here.
Can everybody hear what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
There's somebody having a conversation in the background somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh.
Who's not on mute?
Yeah.
Let me see. My husband's in the next room. Let me see if he can. It
that
might
could be him.
Yeah, he might be talking on the phone. Hold on a second. I'll yell at him.
All right. That is, yeah, it is. It is her because she just muted herself.
Yeah, I told him to be quiet.
Yeah.
So he's on the phone with somebody. I'm active on PFAS issues. As far as hobbies, I'm a part-time resident of the town of Moulton Borough, and I'm active in the Lake Canesaca Watershed Association. So water quality, surface water, watersheds are really important to me. And as far as hobbies, anything outside in the summer around the lake, hiking, kayaking, all that. I like to downhill ski, but I haven't done that in a couple of years. And I like to do bead weaving. I make beaded jewelry in particular. So that's a nice hobby of mine. And sewing and crafts I like to do. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Rose. Erica Connors.
Hi, I'm Erica Connors. This is my third term in the New Hampshire House. I previously served on Fish and Game and as Children and Family Law. Last term, I was the clerk on that committee. Was just looking for a little bit of a change this time around. Prior to being in the New Hampshire House, I served for 6 years on the Manchester City School Board. I have 3 school-age kids. They are 12, 15, and 17. So we're in the midst of college process stuff. I take a little different perspective for this committee. I own a summer day camp for children. So we are on a lake here, and we are a ski race family. So we're in the mountains all the time, and we do lots of hiking and boating and all kinds of outdoor activities.
Okay. Thank you, Erica. Suzanne Vale. Oh, she's still. Nope, don't hear you.
She doesn't look muted. She must, now she's muted.
No.
She must have a mic problem or something because I don't know what her.
No, still can't hear.
Sometimes my headset does that. If you check the little caret, a little tiny arrow next to the microphone, you can select a different microphone. Sometimes mine switches automatically to the wrong one.
I don't know. I
can't hear you, Suzanne.
Can't hear.
Do we have a chat function where someone could send her a note?
I think she can hear us because she keeps, as we say that, she stops talking.
Yeah.
So if she goes on her audio, and if are you wearing a headset? I don't think she is.
No, but now I see that my box is green. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
We got you now.
All right, let's try to get through this. I think I'm having a problem with my keyboard and I just need to reboot, but I don't want to do that right now. Good morning and thank you. Suzanne Vale, and I live in Nashua, Ward 3. This going into my third term. My first was municipal, my second was transportation, and here I am now looking forward to working on some things that I'm hearing others are also looking forward to. I'm an outdoor person. I've lived in New Hampshire all my life. I was born in Nashua. I'm a 4th generation Nashuan. And always had a fascination with our public lands and the recreation and things that we could do growing up without having a lot of money on our state properties and using the White Mountains and climbing. I now have 3 grown children who are all also outdoor people. And I guess in the interest of time, I'll wrap it up with that.
Okay. Thank you, Suzanne. Eamon Kelly.
I am Eamon Kelly. I represent the city of Berlin. I'm one of 3 reps from up here. This is my first term. My family owns a sawmill up here in Berlin, so I've been involved with the woods my whole life. I'm not involved with that side of the business, but I'm an outdoors person, just like a lot of people here. Grew up skiing way up here in Berlin. Obviously, there's plenty of places to go. Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting you and working with you.
Thank you very much. It seems like you're the only person north of the Notch who's on the committee. Melbourne Moran.
Hi, my name is Melbourne. I'm representing Nashua Ward 7. I live here in Nashua with my wife and 3 children. I range from 4 months to 5 years. I'm a psychotherapist licensed here in New Hampshire, Massachusetts. I'm from Lowell, Massachusetts. I moved here to New Hampshire with my wife, who's a Nashua and New Hampshire native. I own my own mental health and forensic service agency that has offices in New Hampshire, Massachusetts. I primarily work with suicidal patients, patients that are severe and persistently mentally ill. And I also am an expert to the point where I testify for people's competencies in criminal matters in the state of Massachusetts. And I'm not a recreation person at all. I'm willing to learn about what's going on in this committee, but I'm not an outdoors person in any way, shape, or form. I'd be lying if I said I was.
Thank you. I was looking around. I see Juliet Harvey Bolia is here. As Juliet, let's see. Can't hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, everyone. Nice to meet you all. I guess there's a lot of skiers in the bunch. I recognize Suzanne Smith from the Plymouth area. That's I'm working today at the town of Plymouth. I'm working in the planning department. So this is my first term, and so I don't really have too much to say, but looking forward to meeting everyone.
Okay. Is there anybody that I missed? Okay, that's fine. That's it. Okay. We've all introduced each other. Unfortunately, it's not the hi, how are you? And then it isn't the chatting that you normally see at this kind of introduction. Usually there's a little bit of crosstalk, and it's allowed. I would normally allow it simply because it's the best way to get to know folks. But we'll all get to know each other pretty well, maybe too well over the next 2 years. So now following my script. By the way, is there any questions or anything like that? Is there anybody have any comments? I haven't seen anybody raise their hand, and of course I don't. If anybody does raise their hand, please, and I don't call on you. Maybe this is my first time fooling around with these with this little computer screen, so
Mr. Chair,
bear with me. Yes.
we also have a few guests in the who are listening in. Most of them are people who usually would be sitting in the audience if we were having this live. So just wanted to.
All right.
They're all here. We got Jason Stock, Jason Smith, Jody Grimbliss, Gary Abbott, Matt Leahy, Michelle Davis, Bob Johnson, Robert Johnson, and Zach Sheehan from the Democratic Office.
Okay, those
it's listed. They're listed under attendees. Under
attendees. I see 8 of them, but I can't.
Yeah.
Okay, that's I just called it up. Okay. I don't. Let's see.
I don't know if we want to take the time.
If you'd like to have any of them speak, I can allow them to talk.
If anybody would like to in the audience, just for just to even as just to say hi and a sentence or two of what you've done. So especially for the new folks who are new to the committee, who just say who you maybe just say who you are and what how you help, how you interact with the committee. If you could do that, I guess Jody and okay, Grimbliss for Strategic Solutions. Do I have something to say? Yep. Say it. Can you speak? Is it,
Hi, Mr. Chairman. Can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I wasn't expecting it, but I appreciate it. I'll follow up with an email to the committee as a whole. My name is Jody Grimbliss. I'm a lobbyist here in Concord. You'll see me before your committee. We represent the marine industry, so boating, the local marinas, some of the manufacturers and boating enthusiasts. We also represent the New Hampshire Snowmobile Association. So anything usually snowmobile related, OHRV related, we tend to work with your committee on. My colleague, his name is Adam Schmidt, And again, I think what I'll do is I'll send an email to all of you with our backgrounds and the clients that we represent, and we look forward to working with you all. And thank you for the time.
Yep. Thank you. That'd be good. Jason Smith?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
My name is Jason Smith. I work at the New Hampshire Fish and Game Department. I'm currently the chief of the Inland Fisheries Division. I periodically come before the committee for various bills. So I'm just here listening in and to introduce myself, but thank you.
Okay. Jason Stock?
Good morning. Jason Stock. I'm the Executive Director of the New Hampshire Timberland Owners Association. We represent private landowners as well as the state's forest products industry. You'll hear from us on issues relative to forestry, forest management, wildlife issues, also management of state lands. State of New Hampshire has a pretty robust forest management program, and so we have an interest in that also. Thank you for the chance to speak, and I look forward to the day when we can all meet face to face.
Thank you. Richard Parsons?
Hi, I'm Rich Parsons. I just wanted to introduce myself. We represent the New Hampshire Off-Highway Vehicle Association at RYP Grand Strategies. We also will likely come before you in some instances for the New Hampshire Wildlife Federation and perhaps even Eversource at times, but really the majority of stuff with the ATV folks. Thank you.
Thank you. Matt Leahy? Yeah. Matt?
Hi, this is Matt Leahy. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hi, this is Matt Leahy. I'm the Public Policy Manager for the Society for the Protection of New Hampshire Forests. We are a statewide land trust, and our concerns and interests mostly deal with conservation and forestry issues. Thank you very much.
Okay. I see no one else is anybody else wanting to say anything? Michelle Davis, New Hampshire Lakes.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. My name is Michelle Davis. I'm the Advocacy Program Coordinator at New Hampshire Lakes. I'm new to the position and to New Hampshire as a whole. So I'm excited to be here, and thanks for giving me the time. New Hampshire Lakes works for clean and healthy lakes. So you'll be hearing from me about issues related to, water quality and aquatic invasive species, et cetera.
Okay, and anyone else from the audience? If not, okay, I'll close the audience participation. Okay, so I can cancel that. All right.
I have a question, Andy. How
yes.
do we put up a sign to chat? I don't see a chat sign. Up
there is no chatting. I don't believe that we're not set up for that. I don't believe. Is that true, Brad? To speak to that?
That's correct. We have the chat disabled due to the right to know concerns.
Okay, does that answer your question, Linda? Representative Gould. Sorry, again, it's you should, in order, but part of what we have to learn, and I still have to learn it, that you should, especially with your in session, you use the term, you use the representative, Representative Gould, not Linda, and I apologize, but that's part of our system of if you're nice and formal, then you're not things go better, things go well. So it's part of the tradition. Okay, beyond that, anything else? I can go into the next part of what I'm supposed to do. Start time and notice of absence. All right. Normally, if this were the regular world, we would be starting at, we would be starting at 10 o'clock. Now, what is going to be happening is we will be going to this now special, there'll be the special, the special rules because there'll be hybrid situations, and we have the way we will be laid out as a committee and how we will conduct the meetings. We'll be required to make maximum use of the time and the space allotted. So the starting time will be 9 o'clock, and it will end probably closer to 5 o'clock than it normally would be, somewhere around 3:30, 4 o'clock. But no, the requirements is to pack as much in as possible. The way we will be meeting, and we can probably talk more about this later, is that we will be meeting in a hybrid situation. The hybrid situation will be people will be either on Zoom or will be in Concord in a double committee room. It will be laid out such that the double committee room will have enough space so that we can socially distance and wear masks. And but there was also the allowance for those who wish to meet by Zoom to also participate. So the big issue for me, and I'm sad to say I do not have any information on exactly what day we are meeting. They will be, hopefully they're talking about that right now at the meeting that is going on of the chairs and vice chairs that was scheduled right on top of this meeting. So the vice chair is attending that meeting, and it is also a Zoom meeting. So but he is attending that meeting to find out what changes or what variations have occurred as to how we meet. The biggest thing is we're going to be meeting one of our time will be one of the 5 days. They're going to make maximum usage of time because they're going to only allow two committee hearings per floor. So that means we only have the third floor and the second floor. So those meetings will occur. Will be over a 5-day period. This committee will be assigned a time slot, and it will be a specific day that we will be meeting on. I have no choice of what the meeting day is. That is what the speaker will be making that choice. And I think a lot of it has to do with the amount of bills we have, and I will have to negotiate the time that I think I need to be able to meet the time on for these bills. So that's hopefully, and I'm hoping that Representative Gunsky, who is attending this meeting, instead of being here. Basically, he's attending on my request that to get the latest up-to-date information, and he will report back to this group once that meeting is over. He'll tune right in. I see Rep. Lisa. Lisa, you have a question?
I just had a question about the chat function. Will that be, if we're going to be doing a Zoom meeting, are we going to have the chat function for people to use that are in the Zoom meeting, or is this just for today?
Brad, can you help me with that?
Sure. So, to the best of my knowledge, we will not be enabling the chat function for future meetings as well. We, again, due to right to know law concerns, we have that disabled.
Yeah, this is as a public meeting. The chat isn't viewable by the public, so that would be we would be violating the right to know law. So you can do the chat thing around caucuses, but because those are not public meetings and the public doesn't have a right to see what goes on in a caucus. But this meeting is not, because it is bipartisan.
And,
Okay.
and can I also ask if we have the ability to record from our own computers? Is that the same of people who are on as attendees?
Brad, as far as I would, if you ask me personally, I think that the meeting is recordable, as far as I'm concerned, because it is a public meeting, and public meetings, recording in a public meeting is allowed,
And
especially the governmental meeting.
And just to follow up, I'm not sure the function of the attendees if they're able to record, but we are also putting it onto YouTube, so it would be available for the public for the future as well.
Okay. Thank you, Brad. And any other questions? If not, I'll continue.
Andy?
Lisa, yeah, Lisa, take your hand down.
Andy?
Yeah.
I have a question. Are you
Yep.
talking about committee hearings where people can't talk in? I mean, how are people going to testify? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm only talking about the chat function. See, there's a chat function here that would allow, that is disabled, because the chat function would allow reps to talk outside of the in committee, while in committee would allow reps to communicate outside of the view of the public.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if it does. I realize that in the normal under normal circumstances, I mean, one rep can really lean over and say something, of course, which they'll rule them out of order. But the chat, chat function allows a conversation that can't be viewed, and that would get us into trouble. So, any other questions? So I'll go on. Okay. Notice of absence. You gotta let people know that you're not going to show up. You call the you can call me. Best always to call the office. Call Heather Ebbs. She will be able to record or take it down and let us know that you won't be coming. It's not a critical thing that if you don't show up, but it's a critical thing that I don't know that you're not showing up. What's critical? But this is letting people know, especially if we're going to be in executive sessions at all, is very crucial to both Suzanne Smith and myself, Representative Smith, because that, especially if there are votes, we need to know that you're going to be there, because there is if you're not going to be there, you can be temporarily replaced for that vote, and if that is necessary, if we feel as the partisan leaders of our parties we need the time to know till we can get somebody in to vote in your stead. I don't know, Suzanne, you want to make any comments about that? Representative Smith? No, guess not. All right.
She just was on mute.
I am trying to talk. I just had my mute on. It's Heather Goley, not Heather Ebbs. She got married, remember?
Oh, yeah.
So if you'll get your calendar notices from Heather Goley.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll have to apologize to her, but I got a big see. This is my list of apologies. I have to a whole bunch of. I gotta apologize to a lot of people, but then again, maybe you'll never. Maybe they'll forget. So, but I'm not Chuck. Don't worry, Chuck. I'm never going to apologize to you. But anyway, okay. Let's get back to okay. That's about the notice of absence. Single email account used for legislative business. Yeah, I don't know. Most of you should have gotten a email from the clerk from Paul Smith concerning use of a preferred email. This is basically aimed at the new folks who have come in. I mean, they put down their email but what's ending up there's also a legislative email that you've been given, and you might not even know that, and you have to choose and make certain that what email you want to have all your information from the legislature go to. So if you haven't got this, have you got this email from Paul Smith says use the preferred email? Basically, it says, as members, you have the right to utilize the legislative email system with your name or utilize a personal email system. The legislative email system is the one with your name plus at leg.state.nh.us. We ask that you choose one email for all legislative use, as trying to jiggle between which address you want posted on the website versus which one you want committee researchers or assistants to send you information is incredibly time consuming. So he's asking for one email. So I know in having to get in contact with some folks, it took me a while to get through to some folks. Any questions on that? Okay. Dress and decorum. Dress is pretty, it's a bit open, but it should be, business casual, or at least not. Well, she should. I'll speak for the men. You should wear a jacket. Remember, you're in front of the public, so that's you're a representative. You're representing the state. So if you're on if you're on Zoom, I don't think like I'm not wearing a tie. Tie is not necessarily necessary, but no T-shirts, please, or anything like that. That's Suzanne. I don't know if you want to speak to what's best. I'm not. What's best dressing for women.
As Andy said, business casual, which means, neat and presentable, clean clothes, nice shirts, things you wouldn't want to remember, all of these are public. So even if you're on Zoom, someone could be photographing it and putting it on Facebook or on the TV news. So you want to look presentable. And if it's Zoom, obviously you don't have to wear proper shoes, but from the waist up, you definitely want to look fairly presentable.
Thank you.
When we're meeting in person, I would say no jeans, but nice slacks are always appropriate.
Any questions or comments on that? Thank you. All right. Food, coffee, and lunch breaks. All right. We do have lunch breaks, but sometimes we will work through them. The general rule is that when we will have a lunch break built into the schedule. The general rule is no food during public hearings. There should be you allow water. You keep water. If you want soda or coffee, just keep it under the table. Just don't kick the cup over. It's kind of that type of thing. I mean, I'm fairly loose about that, but realize having a Coke sitting right in front of you doesn't look good, especially if it's being broadcast. So just but a bottle of water is fine. And if you're like me, you'll need a candy every now and then. Sneak one, but that's not an issue. But it's just sometimes people will push the issue. One of the also is there will be times when we will not take a lunch break, but we will allow hearings to continue where would have people go out and bring back their lunch and eat it at the desk. That's fine if I allow it. And that's in a situation. That's a unique situation, but you will see that. You might see that, and in this issue, the way it is now, you may see it more. Use of electronic devices. It's dull your phone. You put it on vibrate, or better yet, shut it off. I think if it goes off once, you'll be very embarrassed, and usually it doesn't happen again till the next time. So just be aware that you have a phone. If you're expecting a call, put it on vibrate so you don't interrupt the proceedings. Any questions on that? Okay, next thing in my list is the drawer. You will be assigned a drawer for your stuff. It's a large drawer that is for anybody who's had been in a drafting area where they put there are large drawers that wide but narrow, but not very deep. It's where that they put in large drawings or schematics, things like that. It's that kind of drawer. There are several stacks of them. Everybody will be assigned one. It will have a key, so you can leave stuff in it. It has a reasonable amount of storage space. There, you do not have a desk. The only one that has a desk is the chair. In the previous tour as the chair, I used the desk to basically sit in. It has a computer, and I did not store much in it. Other chairs do use it a lot. It's just I work out of a briefcase. But again, you will have a drawer, you will have a lock and key. I do not believe they are under this with the pandemic going on, and in the special meeting, our special system of meeting, those will not be available. You'll have to, anything you get, any paperwork you take with you. So you will not have the drawers available, but they are once we get back to regular order. The NC to sign for security notification. Again, this has to do with with our normal order. When there will be a seat closest to the door that goes to the office. That seat, I will put a rep and that rep will be their rep's responsibility will be to go in and call security if we are having a problem. We are in the public, have a public hearing. And sometimes people in the public get a little agitated. This is rare, but it has happened. It has not happened to me, but has happened to other chairs where somebody gets rambunctious and looks like we need the presence of a security person, and there will be there is a signal that I will give to that person who's in that chair to make a phone call to security. But there are also maybe times that person will have to run and call for someone has a heart problem or some medical issue. Again, those issues, that's what that chair is about. Any questions on that? Okay, don't see any. Okay. Fire our alarm exit. So we can. You have to. I think that's kind of self-explanatory. The committee itself. Those are the ground rules. Then the committee itself. The committee has a charge. The committee charge is resources, recreation, and development. It's section 30 of our rules. Committee on Resources, Recreation, and Development to consider all matters relating to natural resources, water pollution and control, parks and recreation areas, recreational industries, matters concerning state control on property development, and such other matters as may be referred to it. That's what we do. That's our charge. But you notice they said all other matters that may be referred to it. So don't be surprised if there isn't things that we get that doesn't fall under that. I try to get rid of those bills, but sometimes I can't. Now the partisan balance on the partisan balance on the committee. It's just the Constitution requires it. The rules require a partisan balance generally. We have a balance of 11 Republicans in the majority and 10 Democrats. That is as close of a partisan balance as you can get. I have never been on on any committee that has an equal number. Usually it's the majority and a minority. Committee seating at the discretion of the chair. What I would normally have done, there's a committee, there's a form that I fill out. It's it has a, you see here I am trying to talk with my hands. It's my Italian in it, but I try to. You have basically the cutout of a drawing of the layout of the room. It has in it where people will sit. I, as chair, make the determination where people sit. I will definitely be consulting Representative Smith to get her input and help in setting this up. Normally what the way the front it's the chair, the desk or the tables are set up in a U-shaped form of an inverted U. The center or of the base of the U is then the center of that table is the chair. And so to my right will be the vice chair, and to his right will be the ranking member. Right? To my left will be the clerk, and usually keep an empty spot there on the end beside the clerk, simply because the clerk will have a lot of the paperwork that would normally come in. So then she keeps the files and things of that nature. So there's a necessity for additional space in by the clerk. Then along these two sides, there will be mixture of folks. There will be the more senior people will be toward the front. Hopefully, so we can try to put senior people next to next to the new people, and mix up Democrat and Republican to get so you can get to basically have help and get to know your people around you. And believe me, it's good to do this way, because you get to know somebody that in the world outside. There seems to be a lot of they miss the fact that just because somebody has an R or a D next to their name doesn't make them bad. It's just you're just different. They have a different they have a different idea on something. That's it. You'll know people, and don't be afraid to ask. You have a question, especially the new folks. If you have a question on a procedure, ask me. I don't care if you're. I don't care what you're a D or an R. It's ask Representative Smith. I'm certain she doesn't. She doesn't care whether you're a D or an R. We are here to guide you along, and I think I can say that for any of those of us who have been here more than one term, or been here at least a term. In other words, they'll help you as best they can. And we try to do that on the committee because you will find that most of the decisions we make are unanimous, oddly enough, and which kind of is surprising, because I'm a hard-nosed Republican from way back, and yet there are 5 times that I will, okay, and so I will it's it is the, it's just the way things happen, because that's mostly what we end up doing. Any questions on that? All right. Typical bill topics. I think just what I just said on the part on the by the charge of what the committee does. We have 21 bills so far. Here's some, just to give you an idea of what one of the, just a couple of them. You can look them up, by the way. You can look up all the bills. Just go on www.gencourt.state.nh.us. That will get you into the state system. If anybody who hasn't done it, do it. You can just hunt around in it. Just go where it says committee. Well, first click on the house, then you click on committee, and you can go to resources, recreation and development, and you can get a list of all the bills. And then there are ways you can pull the bills down. But some of the bills that just a couple one relative to seasonal platforms on public waters of the state, wake surfing, prime wetlands, rail trails, standards on per and polyfluoroalkyl substances, PFAS in drinking water and ambient water. And finally, one that just hit me that I was looking these up. I said, "Oh my God, abolishing fluoridation in water." So that's coming back. So that is the kind of bills that we can, typical topics. Any questions on that? Okay. Second, committee work. Judith, you have a question? Yeah, you're not. Can't hear you.
Well, there's a certain value to that. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure when to ask this question.
Sure.
In terms of, I think particularly for those of us who have bills coming up, or who are trying to arrange for a testimony on a bill, is there any limit on the amount of time that somebody will be allowed to testify? I know, I assume that we're going to continue with the tradition of never telling anyone that they can't testify. But if we're trying to plan for the introduction of a bill, has there been any talk about how chairs are going to determine how much time people will be given? Will it be one person talking for 3 minutes, or will it be the whole charter school being allowed to come and talk?
What I think as I know for now, it is all at the discretion of the chair. If it's something is coming in that is, fresh or new, in other words, or somebody's the first person testifying, and that's your keynote person, then I may allow more than if it's the 20th person wanting to repeat everything that's been said previous. So one of the things that I will do, and I will use the old trick of reading the people's, when people fill out, well, there's going to be a virtual pink card. And on that virtual pink card is going to be a length of time they put down for a testimony. When they speak, if it's Judith Spang for 3 minutes, and that's what's written on there, that's what I will read back to you. I will say, Judith Spang, you're speaking for 3 minutes, correct? And I will do that if I have a large number of pink cards.
Okay, so there'll be no limit on the number of people who will be able to speak. Say there's a local issue and the entire Conservation Commission wants to come in and testify. All 10 of them.
If it looks like it's dilatory and I have a lot of people, I may have to say, I will say, is there something you're going to be telling us that is different from the previous testimony? If they say yes and they don't do that, I will say, is there something that you do that is different from the previous testimony? And then if they don't do that, if they ignore me again, I will say that this is dilatory, and I will rule them out of order. I mean, I've only got we have limited amount of time. I will be as flexible. I'm as flexible as possible on this. But if it looks like I've got especially if one of these things goes into a long, a long testimony, it could be, it's interfering with other people's rights. Now, if there's something that I know there's going to be a long testimony, we will try to put it in. We will try to schedule a large amount of time. I mean, yes, there's times you get burned, but like for instance, I assume there's going to be a large amount of time on testimony for the fluoridation, and I will make it a long. It won't be a half an hour. So I don't know if I've answered your question, but
yeah, that's great. That's kind of what I was expecting, and I'm hoping that to get a good idea from the other chairs on about how they're going to handle it. I had a bill last year where 15 kids from a charter school came, and they each delivered one sentence, and I'm not sure how that will fly this year. The other thing, and it's kind of related, we have new people who are not familiar with some of our issues. And I'm wondering if we could have brown bag presentations, or maybe a presentation when on one of the days that we are not in session ourselves, and able to bring people up to speed. I know we have in the past done that. I know that Rick Vanderpool came in and gave a lecture on wetlands and why they need to be protected and how to do it. And I think that that's very useful. I don't know whether with some of the ATV issues, whether a little background on what has been going on there might be useful, that you wouldn't necessarily get in testimony.
okay. I'll have to consider what it is on a case-by-case basis. There are other questions. I got two other hands up. Get any? All right. Okay, I see Representative Post, and I don't know who the other one is. That's off my screen here.
It's Representative Smith.
Oh, okay. Well, I call Representative Post first, then I'll.
Yep. That's good.
Representative Post.
Thank you. I just wanted to know with the bills, can we post them on our Facebook page to reach out to people in our areas, in our towns that might be interested in them? Is that appropriate?
I don't see any reason why not. Representative Smith.
Yeah, first I'd answer Lisa or Representative Post. You can also just post the link to the general court website to the bill. You don't have to write the bill itself. The other thing, which leads me to this question of usually we are given paper copies of all of the bills before the committee. Have we figured out how we're going to do that this year?
All right, what's going to happen there was issues, I'm concerned about that as well. As I know it's right now, we will be getting a packet. If you are attending in person, I was told we will be getting the a packet that will have the bills in, that will have the testimony that is, or any printed, information that is supplied to the committee will be put together by the committee services, and we will be greeted with a packet of information. And this stuff that we would normally get as handouts will have to come in and be sent to the committee services prior. So people will have to sign up and get their stuff in to the to committee services in order to be handed out to us for hard copies. I'm going to assume that all of that information that comes in will also be on the wire or online for those who do not attend in person. As far as copies of all the bills, I'll find out if I can find out if we can get them all mailed at once to us.
Yeah, that'd be
I
good.
will, I think let me mark that down as something to do.
Yeah.
Mail all copies.
Yeah, and also my understanding is that all of the testimony will be done virtually.
Yes, all of the testimony will be done virtually. None of the, there will be no place for someone to come in and sit down to present their bill. Even if they're on another committee that is meeting and are in the building, they can't come in. Because you don't want, and because people may want to come in just to make their presentation, hand stuff out. Well, if you allow that for one, you got to allow that for all. So you can't do it. So they said no. So that's how I was getting the information.
Okay, I have another question.
Yeah.
Which is, do we know yet the status of the air exchangers for the clean air?
There's going to be an attempt at doing one committee is going to be. They said that one committee will be trying a trial run this coming week. That may mean that that to me means that at least there are some of the portables available. I myself, once I find out what one that is, I will probably be looking in on it to see how what problems they run into. I mean, I hopefully let's see. I think that meeting might still be going on. Hopefully, Representative Gunsky, who's there, will be able to come back and fill us in what's happening. He might have more of an update on that. If not, I'll get an update out because I'll ask him to write something out and get it to everyone at any rate, if he's not in by that time, by the end of this meeting. Let's see, I thought I had something else. I missed it. Any other questions on that? First of all, just to show you how difficult some of this is. Under normal circumstances, people would come in, they'd have their testimony written out, they'd hand it out to the representatives. They would fill out what they call a pink card, and the pink card would have on who they are, what they represent, and how long they want to speak, and on what side they're for or against. And something as simple as they're filling out that card, when having to do it all virtually is now a major production. They have to fill out the card prior to it, to the hearing, get it in. It has to get brought to the chair, has to be copied. The chair has to sort it out. So it suddenly becomes something that was a 2-minute job suddenly becomes a half-hour job. So it's that kind of issue that we're facing. Anything else? Did I answer your questions? Or best as I can. There are still some questions that I have, but as I try to work through it. But anything else, Representative Smith?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Representative Harb.
Yes, thank you. On the days of the hearing, are you going to set specific times, or I think we passed a rule that you could list them all for the same time and we just take them concurrently after we finish one? What is your intent on that?
I would rather not do that. That's the Senate way. And it's kind of protects them. You ever go to the Senate, they at 10, everything's at 10 o'clock, 10:01, 10:02, 20, and they have all of the bills listed, and your people can be wasting a lot of time waiting for their turn. I would rather not do it. I think what they are allowing to do is if you have bills of the same type, which have the same the same cast of characters testifying. Suppose it's a OHRV bills, OHR set of bills like that, and then we had several that were all very similar. You can take those all at once. You don't have to keep having the same. You don't have to keep having everybody testify on the same bill. Excuse me. You could have everybody you can take the testimony from one bill and use it on the other. So if you gather them together, and hopefully that will save some time. Did I answer your question? Okay. You know what this? I'm let's see. Just gonna quickly. Second committee work. For those who are new, we will get bills that have to be out that have to go to a second committee. So those have to get done first because we have a limit. We'll have basically half the time to get them taken care of. What's usually annoying and unfortunate is that they are usually bills that have money involved, and they're usually fairly complicated. And so it makes life difficult. So. I don't know if I can answer any questions on that, but that's just a fact of life. The subcommittees. Sometimes a bill has we may have some bill has issues. We may take we may get set up a group of reps, committee members, to be part to go offline and see what if they can improve it or hash out what it is that is wrong with the bill. Either come back with a recommendation to committee, whether it's ought to pass with an amendment, or ITL, which is inexpedient to legislate. It allows a subcommittee is put together is allowed by the chair if the chair wants it. It is highly discouraged in this time. We just haven't got the time to do a lot of that. What you may see is, instead of putting a subcommittee on it, we may retain a bill. That is retaining is when we in the committee vote to keep it and not get it, pass it to the floor. You have to get and spend some later time working on it. It means, again, kicking the can down the road, but if we feel that the bill deserves at least some additional work, and we really don't feel we have the time to do it, rather than kill it, maybe we just, we move it down. You may see a lot more retained bills because during this time. There's things about bill files and things like that, but that's about it. We'll talk about any questions on that, where we're going. I'm going to talk a little about the public hearings and the executive session. Public hearings, we're going to have witnesses. You don't debate the witnesses. That's not what they're here for. You're to ask them questions. The questions come through the chair. That they should not be speeches. If there's they should be all the questions come through the chair. In other words, you raise your hand. I recognize you for, and you said for a question. And I said, okay, for a question. You get a question. You don't ask a second question. You say, you turn to the chair and say, I have another, for a follow-up. And I'll say, for a follow-up. If the one thing that is done, and it is not a very good thing, and somebody will start making a speech, and then we'll say, would you believe? Well, that is not a question. That is a speech put in the form of a question, and it's really not something that you really should do. Any questions on that? No? Okay. Other than that, okay. Okay, when the sponsor is a member of the committee. All right, the sponsor delivers the bill or introduces the bill and speaks on the bill through normally on the testimony table. There's normally a testimony table. Because there will be no testimony table, I will waive that requirement, and you'll make your testimony. That's me. They may overrule me on that, but I figure it's if you're there, you will make your testimony. However, if anyone who is a sponsor of a bill, they can take their testimony, and the co-sponsors also can give testimony, but they cannot ask questions of any of the others that are testifying. They just sit there, and that's how that goes. Any questions on that? Okay. Now, I see one thing in here that says no action on bill the same day as hearing. That is I don't. I think that might be overruled eventually, because there is going to be put on every notice that there could be an executive session at any time during the day. That's good. It has been done before. I personally don't like it. I will not do it except in this situation, I will, if a bill appears to be something that everyone seems to agree on, at some point, I may consult or with, or I may just bring up a question. Not consult. I will just if it appears to me that the things are going to be, we could that we have time to do, that we have bills that could be taken care of without having a notified executive session, because there is a notification already that would cover having an immediate immediate executive session. We could do that, but I would, if there's appears to be any issues involved, I would simply adjourn that executive session without a finding and postpone the executive session to a later date with a hearing, not hearing, with a notified executive session. So there is a possibility of being able to get process bills quickly if we have which we have appears to be a close to unanimous decision on it. Just so we don't have to keep plowing the same earth. Yeah. Any other? Any questions? No. Executive session. First of all, there's no, if you're in the executive session, there is no public input unless the chair allows it. Usually that is only allowed for if there is a question on something. The representative has a question. And if it is a legitimate question, yeah, I will allow that. If but somebody waving their arms in the audience or say, "Hey, I want to be," I got something to say. No, you had your chance to say it at the at the hearing. There will be amendments, and the amendments are prepared by OLS and will be supplied to committee members. But I don't think I won't even worry about. I won't worry about that. But in the normal situation, in the ring executive session, first of all, there will be, before executive sessions at some point, at least on the Republican side, and I'm assuming on the Democrat side, there will be caucuses. And you should caucus simply to find out where everybody is on the bills. Once we'll have, so, but the caucuses, I think as long as we have, I would rather if we have caucuses that they're done outside of the time that we have to take care of bills. In other words, do it the day ahead of time. You can do it. You could do it at night. Do it on the, and caucuses are not. You don't have to worry about right to know law. The roll call, which will normally with the clerk, what will happen is when everybody is finished and all of the motions have been made and we're ready to vote. I will ask the clerk to please call the roll. But the first person to vote will be the vice chair of the majority. Be the vice chair, will be Representative Gunsky. Then the clerk will go down the list of Republicans, except for the chair. Then the next, after all of the Republicans have voted, the ranking Democrat will vote, Representative Smith. And then the chair will continue calling the roll. And then the last person to vote will be the chair. And the clerk will read the state of the vote, the state of the ballot. Then the people have to write committee reports. Usually the committee report or committee report. I still call them blurbs, I'm sorry. But somebody decided to call them committee reports. We will, there'll be the person making the motion will be the one who will write the committee report, will write the blurb. If there is a minority report, say someone can say, I will write a minority report. I will say, is there a minority report? And that will, if then that you would write that minority report. The reports have to be submitted to the chair. I will have to review them. I will review them for veracity. Well, that's, but say, well, of course, I will try to do it as much as freedom of speech allows. You have to, there's specific requirements on what a blurb is, what you put in it. You should, if there's an amendment to the bill, you say what the amendment does. You put down what are the facts of the bill, and they should be facts. They should not be personal. It should be, so and so did this. Well, yeah, okay. You have to, because what'll happen is if there's a problem with the blurb and it gets by me, then, and it might very well, because this has happened before, is that it gets looked at by the clerk, Paul Smith, the clerk of the House. He reads it because it has to go into the blue sheets, into the calendar, and also the speaker reads it because it's in effect his calendar, and then I would get a call. So look at some of the see if you can look at some previous blurbs in some other calendars. There will be you might get some if you find one of maybe if Representative Smith will give you some of hers. She writes a very good blurb, so it'll tell you. You can get an idea what's necessary. And also, by the way, when you write the blurb, be prepared to be the person to defend it. And but we will work on that. We're far away from that. Any questions? I see people about ready to hit their heads about ready to hit the desk. Committee staff, committee researcher. Brad?
Hi, everyone. I'm Brad Greenland.
He's the committee researcher. So tell us what you do.
All right. So the committee researcher and House Committee Services is nonpartisan, and we provide any research needs for the committee about the legislation in front of them. All research requests do need to go through the chair, and then the chair will relay that information to us. We also look over the committee reports as well for any grammatical errors and make sure they're good to go before they're sent off. And we also, like I said earlier, we're nonpartisan, and so any partisan research you'd like done, you would have to go through the different partisan offices. And that's pretty much the role in a nutshell. I'm not sure if anyone has any questions for me, but
just also committee researcher usually part of his function is to supply us with with copies of the law that in the area we're working. There may be an issue that that I may ask the committee researcher to get involved with for the benefit of the committee. That I may say, do you have any information? Can you find me any information on that on prior bills and things of that nature? So his time is limited because committee researchers have to service several committees. So you have to go through the chair to be able to access his help.
And if I may elaborate, we also, so the research we provide is, like Representative Renzullo said, any bill histories on any previous legislation, or if that bill had come up before. We do 50 state surveys to see what other states are doing. And those are the two major ones that we do. And any other, if you have any questions about like a particular topic or something, we can research that for you as well.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you. Now, also there is committee assistance. Committee assistance that's Heather Goley. See, I learned. She will set us up with stuff. She sets the room up. How much she's going to be doing relative to setting up the room and things, and with our name tags. By the way, you do get a name tag. It's not a name tag, a name plate. You'll start off if you're a new person with just on paper, but you eventually get a wooden one with the plastic name on, and then your name on it. That she sets that up. She sets up the room for us, and then she also is the person that the clerk deals with, and she also sends out the notices for the meeting. Member resources, administrative support, fourth floor. You go up to the fourth floor, you get supplies, you get clerical support, you get copying done up there. That's on the fourth floor. The statutes, the laws are in the committee room. Statutes are also available, again, on the website, the House website, the gencourt.state.nh.us. Statutes are in there on that, available there. Computers and phones in the State House, they're the LOB, they're on the fourth floor. Again, you have a computer room and you have phones. Wireless computer access, you have that already. That's available on the campus. Any issues on rules, call Paul Smith. That's about it. Other things, there's a lot of things about what the the chair has to do, but I think I think I've already wiped you out already. I see people's heads hitting I see people are going, when is he going to finish? Well, I'm finished. So,
I have
is there any questions? All right.
I have a
Linda.
question. Yes,
Yep.
you mentioned the copy machine up on the 4th floor.
Yep.
Is that going to be available for us if we go to the building?
They are available under normal circumstances. I will find out if they are available. I will find out if they are available during the pandemic.
Okay, good.
I got the machine. Okay, yep. These are all things I'll be sending out as soon as I'm finished here. Any other questions anybody has? Speak now or forever ever hold your peace. Geez, Chuck, you're not saying anything. Did I tire you out?
I've been sleeping, Andy, so I figured it's a good time to do that.
I know. I was sleeping too.
Yeah, I noticed.
Anything else?
I think you did a good job as far as, particularly for the new members, those of us who are returning. It's pretty much the same as usual, except for we're doing it virtually right now. But when we get back to the rooms, hopefully we'll get to be able to see people face to face. So
yeah, this is tough, right? This is I'm kind of sad for the new folks because your first year is, it's not what it normally is. You're missing the pageantry a bit. You're missing there's a whole flavor to it.
Well, just the camaraderie, particularly, I said between Bob and Michael last session, and put up with those two guys was almost as difficult as dealing with you, Andy. But
I know. No, nobody's as bad as me.
No, that's true. That's true. But luckily, I had Bob and Mike on both sides of me to protect me from you. So
no, they were glad you were there because you were taking the hits. But at any rate, all the new folks, this isn't normally the way it is. And one of the things that it just to end with, my first time I walked up the stair I walked up toward the State House. I was a newbie, never served the day one. And I looked up and the building looked back and said, don't screw it up. And that was kind of got to me. I mean, it was just that you were walking into a historic place and now you were part of history. And I'm sad that you just haven't really had a chance to experience it yet, but you will. It is an experience, and you'll gain friends and on both sides of the aisle. You'll gain enemies on both sides of the aisle too. But it's part of, it's part of the system, and we have the best democracy in the whole country because you got 400 people, and you can't corrupt 400 people unless it's the Congress. So, but they say it's like herding cats to a car wash, but this is democracy, and I think you'll like it. So at any rate, anybody have anything more to say? Anybody have that being that, I will adjourn the meeting. I will not ask for a vote because I'm just doing it it is just simply adjourned. Bye. See you later.
Thank you.